Greetings and welcome everyone to an all-you-can-geek movie cast. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Yo.
and Tony Kokonakis.
Jinx, we really are a League of Legends.
Oh.
All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. And welcome, viewers. We're live on Twitch Tuesday nights. We just started, 8 o'clock. Please join us for these broadcasts. If you missed the live broadcasts, over on YouTube is everything. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that the subscribe button. We appreciate it. It helps us out. And leave us a comment. All right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Movie cast time. We're getting into Thanksgiving this week. Yeah, what have you been watching? I mean,
Obvious.
I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it
Oh
yet.
my
So I
God.
hope you
What?
guys. I know
What?
I didn't finish it yet. Sorry, I've been busy. I haven't. I've watched episode 7. This show is. I mean, this show is emotional. Like I love it. It's just I'm not done with it. I'm sorry. I didn't finish it. I thought I'd finish it today, but it's been events like crazy. So, anyways, so what do you guys think, Tony? Go ahead. Obviously, we're talking about Arcane season 2. But,
Yeah, I don't know what there can be said really, other than it's amazing. And
other than IGN is way off on their review of like a 7.
well, I mean, IGN's a piece of shit, so I never really take into account anything they ever fucking say. So that's fine.
I saw that review score come up, and I'm like, how do you like? I haven't even finished this yet. I'm like, there's no way
A
this
7
show
is
ends.
outrageous, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing is that there's 100% clickbait, right? And I'm not saying
Mhm.
it's above criticism. It's not. I have critiques of it, and I hope
Yeah.
we could do a spoiler cast because I'd love to talk about it. But I don't understand how you can watch this batch of episodes and be like, yeah, this is just average or whatever like that. Like episode 7, because Jimmy, and we won't get into spoilers for people because it just came out on Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, episode 7, I think that's got to be one of the most like just heart wrenching.
I told you, talk about emotional.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
Like it's literally just 40 minutes of hey, like,
yeah.
do you want your heart ripped out? Like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess you do, right? That's what you want.
That's it. It's just like I'm watching that episode. I'm just like, oh, I'm not crying.
No, I'm definitely crying. I can't even excuse it. It's like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
crying. You're crying. We're all crying together, people. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it is, and it's done in a beautiful way. And for me, it really, or Arcane overall, I would say, does a wonderful job of making me care for these characters and treats them with mostly respect. Right? I mean, bad things do happen to them, and they're not perfect.
Yeah.
They often make mistakes, several mistakes, right, or do wrong things, but you still feel for them emotionally when these things happen, right? And when I think about what I've enjoyed over the past like 15, 20 years of media stuff, where it's like, oh, well, we're dark and gritty, whether it's from like Walking Dead to Game of Thrones and stuff like that. It's like, I'm not saying they're wrong or like you're misjudged if like you appreciate those things, but I'm so tired of shock value stuff where it's like we're intentionally doing stuff to elicit a reaction from you, and like, oh, we killed this character in a really gruesome way. It's like, man, like they showed these two characters dancing and then kissing, and I fucking cried about it. Like, I'm sorry, that's to me is way more meaningful than somebody like getting beheaded or something like that. I'm just like, so yeah, just it's been a ride. It's weird that it's over. It's gonna be a long wait for the next whatever series, because Arcane is finished. This chapter of the story, and these characters are mostly finished and stuff like that. But I mean, it was just a roller coaster of emotion. Beautiful animation. I mean, probably the best animation I've seen ever. And like, I think it, for me, it personally tops Spider-Verse, which is probably the,
It's probably the
animation I can.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it.
With
I can see it.
Spider-Verse, it's definitely got a new tools there that they use, so interesting things going on with that. But Arcane is absolutely, this is because they don't just, similar to what Spider-Verse was kind of switching things up and making it its own thing. Arcane does a similar thing where it's like it's not just the same art style too. They enhance the visuals with other ways of animating the scenes and changing it up. I think there was an article on one scene was like hand charcoal painted or something.
Painted, like actual
It was like,
painting, yeah.
So it's just like some of that stuff is just like mind blowing with what they're doing with animation, and the fact that it looks the way it looks and it's still animated as well as it's animated is a testament to like how much work and effort they put in and care that they're giving to these episodes and characters and backdrops and everything. It's just such a beautiful world that they created there, and like every wallpaper I can find, I'm like download.
And that's what it is, really. It's you know, I think I heard this line from Epic Rap Battles or something like that. But there's something where one of the directors is like, every shot's a painting, and this absolutely applies to Arcane. Like any shot, you could just take a screenshot and just be like, "Yep, this is wallpaper now." Like I could just use it as like my desktop background or something like that. And
Yeah, it was what was it, episode 5 or 6? 5 or 6 when they were in the
water
like,
painting.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just like, I'm watching this, and just even then, I'm like, look at the visuals. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, you just take a second, you're trying to watch the story, but you're like,
you're just
wow,
blown away by the animation.
Yeah, you're taking it in. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, but animation aside, I mean, they gave fans what they wanted in episode 8. There's something that like literally broke the internet for a bit, I think. Just giving people what they wanted out of 2 characters without getting into spoiler territory. And probably one of the most erotic like scenes ever. Just to be vague about it. And we're like, I'm watching, I'm like, oh, they're not stopping.
They dialed it back too.
And they dialed it back. They're like, we actually got a slap on the wrist. We're like, you got to tone it down. It's like, oh, okay. So just
Netflix gave them a slap on the wrist. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So cool. So you guys loved it. Love the series overall, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? Like, it's the emotional hits that this show like gives you is crazy, and the fact that they take things from the season 1 and they have parallels in this season here is just amazing. The attention to detail, and if you are like, someone asked me like, is season 2 as good as season 1? I'm like, that's an interesting question, because without season 1, would this season be as good because of the emotional impact that the season 1 is giving this season? I don't think you can watch this season without watching season 1, because of how important that is to these characters and their growth and where they start and where they end, and how, like, again, the parallels that they are using to set up a lot of this stuff. Like you mentioned, there are definitely some gripes, and I think people have said, oh, it feels too fast, like it's too short. That's because you love it so much, you want more. Like that's the problem. The problem isn't that it's rushed. The problem is that you just want to be in this world and want to be with these characters because they're so interesting, and the fact that there is growth to all of them. And like, I have to say, as not a League of Legends player, I think appreciating these characters for who they are and not for their game, like just seeing them it's amazing what they've done to flesh out a video game character, to make it so emotionally like that you're so emotionally attached to them and want to see them become the people that you know that they can be in this show. And then you're like, oh, this would be cool as a video game character. Like, oh wait, there is a video game character for this. But it's like these characters in this show are so more than just what they are in the game. And I have to say, like, Echo has become one of my
he's best boy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that they take powers from within the game and use them in the show in such unique and interesting ways that really accentuate the characters and their storylines is like chef's kiss. It's like amazing.
Cool. Awesome. All right, Tony, anything else?
Yeah, real quick. I did watch this new Netflix show called Man on the Inside.
That just got renewed for another season.
Yeah. I was really happy about that. So it stars.
I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, it stars Ted Danson. Yeah, from A Quiet Place, not Quiet Place. Good Place. Get mixed up. Somebody was like, "It's a horror thing." I was like, "Sorry."
You could say Cheers.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah, exactly. Sorry. I mean, people listen to us. I don't know how many have seen Cheers, but Ted Danson and a couple of the creators from The Good Place too.
Good Place, yeah.
And that was a really fun watch. It really fun watch, but also like kind of
anxious,
emotional as well too, right? Because
emotional. Okay, I was like, I don't know what it is about, so I just want to. Like,
so So just to give like episode 1, first couple minutes, Ted Danson is a retired professor of engineering, I think bridge engineering or architecture engineering, one of those things, and he has like a slightly estranged relationship with his one daughter. He's widowed and stuff like that, like recently. And he's just looking for something to do. Like, he has all the time now that he's retired, but doesn't have any hobbies. And so his daughter's like, you need to get a hobby or something that pushes you and drives you every day, right? Because it's not healthy to be like this.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, at this retirement home, a really expensive, valuable piece of jewelry gets stolen within the community, and the son of the victim hires a private investigator to catch this family, like this thief, because it's a family heirloom and is valuable, this, that, and the other thing. So now this private investigator, who I forget who she's played by, she did a really great job, is like, okay, well, I need to hire an accomplice because I'm a young brunette white woman that, I can't be in a retirement community, right? So she puts out an ad in the paper that's like, hey, I need an older male gentleman, retiree age, to, work with me for a gig. And then Ted Danson applies. And it's very like, she has like a couple people at the interview, and it's like, do you know how to use a phone? Do you have a phone? And he's like, yeah. She's like, okay, take a picture of something in this office and just send it to me right now. And he does it. She's like, wow, like, the bar is low, but you have surpassed these expectations, right? And it makes fun of old people because it's like, what, what am I even doing? Stuff like that. So anyway, it's about him lying to people and fake entering this retirement home community to kind of uncover what's going on and catch this thief. But in the meantime, it's him, living up to that lie in disguise of being a, retiree and stuff like that, and his relationships with some of the people that he makes at that retirement home community. And that's just the premise, again, first couple minutes and stuff like that. But again, roller coaster of emotions. There's some highs. Like, I expected laughter, but I also was like, oh, like, there's some, emotional stuff and stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, that's what Good Place had. There's some good,
absolutely,
good
exactly. If you watch The Good Place, you know what to expect out of this. That's the best compliment I can give it.
Yeah, cool. Corey, anything else for you?
You're muted.
Oops. Yep. Sorry. I caught up on the Ramna and a half.
Oh, I queued it. That's happening. Yeah.
So
I saw it on my list. It's on my list.
This most recent episode was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
So, cool. All right, Mike.
Nothing new. I've watched an old episode of MythBusters.
Oh,
MythBusters. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a show I haven't heard of in a while. So.
Yeah.
All right. And I am gonna drop the ball here and not have the box office open. I love that. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. Obviously, number one movie in the country, I think in the world, is Wicked. Doing phenomenal numbers. It has the highest grossing musical, opening weekend musical. Highest opening weekend musical.
It beat Joker too.
Oh yeah! Wow, shocking, right?
So weird.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, so it did $112.5 million for the opening weekend, which is phenomenal for it. Worldwide, it only did $50 million internationally, but so very good domestic though, very good domestic. So, yeah, I had a high budget, but it should be
this
okay.
Is part one too, as well, right?
Yeah. So that's the idea though.
Cash in.
Well, it had a high budget, but if you filmed them both, which you did, you're going to do some reshoots, and that's about it. I think you filmed them both. I thought they were done.
That's what I thought too. I'm not 100% positive.
That's why I thought the budget was as high as it's like $250.
Well, it's coming out next year, so yeah, they're doing
so
back to back.
But yeah, so it's not bad. You'll make your money back with this, and I've heard it's very good. I heard it's excellent. Heard great things about it. Musical to go and enjoy in the theaters, and I've always wanted to see this one. I have not seen this on Broadway, so I am interested to go see this movie actually, because I always loved the Wizard of Oz story. I'm sorry, I think it's a great story. It's a classic.
It's a classic, yeah.
And this aspect of it is a cool little
It's
twist to it.
Perspective.
Yeah. So I like to see that, and I love that when you have the villain, almost villain perspective of things. I just love to see that, and I say that in quotes. Obviously, villain. If you're not seeing if you're not watching us, sorry. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. Very good weekend for it. Good to hear. Gladiator 2, not a good weekend. $55 million. Yeah. Worldwide, I mean, international is going to save this thing. Is it 165? 165 internationally. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I guess Europe really showed up for this movie, huh?
Yeah. So
I didn't pay attention
it's
to
at
the foreign numbers.
226.
That's crazy.
It's like another $250 million budget. Like,
Yeah, I still don't know if it's gonna be profitable, but it's not gonna be a complete disaster, I guess. That's crazy.
I mean, it's not Joker level for sure.
No, it's definitely
No,
not
no,
I
it's
mean,
not
it beat
disaster.
Joker's
Very few
like,
things will
the
achieve Joker
theoretical
level
run in its
failure.
opening weekend. I
It's
think.
I've not even
Almost.
heard bad. I've never heard bad things about it. Like I've just
Well, it
except for
also
the
came up
budget.
against Wicked, so like,
Yeah, except for the budget, I've heard pretty good things with this as well. Like story wise, it actually works, and it's a fun movie. Fun movie. You know what I mean? Entertaining movie.
Are
Not
you not
necessarily
entertained,
fun.
Jim?
Yeah,
Are you not
yeah.
entertained?
As fun as the first one could have been with the heaviness of some of it. So, but it was if I were going back to the original one, it was a fun gladiator movie. It's like action packed.
Oh, I love Gladiator one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are people talking shit on that these days?
No,
Oh,
I'm just
okay. I
I
wasn't
was saying
sure
it
if,
was
like-
a fun movie, and I didn't really want to
Oh.
get that misconstrued.
You
with-
don't know. Yeah.
yeah.
I just want to make sure it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, well, the Zoomers are growing up and saying that it's a bad movie. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Go watch fucking
International.
TikTok.
God, I just can't. I still can't believe that International bailed it out.
Yeah.
Not bailed out is Red One, second weekend, 13.2 million.
Rock is in
119.
shambles.
Yeah.
Rock
This
is a
movie.
pebble now.
This movie will lose its money. It's at 119 worldwide with again, I think 200 plus $100 million budget. 250, I think it was again. It seems like the magic number is 250 right now with things. I might be just throwing the same number out across the board. I may be wrong here.
So can we pin this squarely on Black Adam as the turning point in his career?
Oh, absolutely.
The hierarchy of The Rock's life changed for the Black Adam movie, without a doubt. I think that movie you can start.
That was
you can
the
market.
peak of his arrogance, and
Yeah,
he just ruined it for
he's still-
himself.
he's still in the news this week talking about if you want to sing at a theater in a musical, you should be able to sing.
Oh my god!
And-
No, I saw that.
yeah.
I think he's just saying stupid shit so he can get coverage.
I think he wants to be controversial.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely,
And I think that was
100%.
just going to be
That's his whole
to get him in the
brand.
news.
He literally has a
Yeah.
clause in his contract that says he can't lose fights. Cannot lose
So
fights.
does
Like
Vin
what?
Diesel.
Like why do you care?
Vin Diesel specifically, yeah. I don't know, man. He's lost his magic with it, without a doubt. So hopefully, like, we'll see what goes on with Jumanji.
Well, the next
I'm
thing is going to be
back.
Moana 2. Or Moana
Yeah.
live action, actually. Well, wait,
Well,
no, Moana 2.
He's in Moana 2. He's in Moana
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
That's next week because it's this week. I'm sorry, it's Thanksgiving. My
Okay.
stepdaughter
Well,
and my
maybe
wife
the-
are back.
Estimated budget for Red One was 350 million.
350. That's okay.
That's insane.
I was off.
That's more than Arcane, both seasons put together. Critically acclaimed. Both series.
I don't know how you pass that. Like for what holiday movie is really going to do that? Honestly, just go holiday. Forget how good it is. What is really going to pull that for a Christmas movie? You know what I mean? Like
See,
it's not very often it happens. So
Gladiator was 250.
yeah. And what was Wicked? Maybe it was it 200,
Wicked.
150. That was the one I think I was wrong with 250. So I just I was pulling 250s out of nowhere. I was low.
150.
150. Okay.
That's
you
reasonable.
go.
150 is reasonable.
Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
reasonable budget. So, all right, guys, going to the news here. Did we check out the Sonic 3 trailer, the new one?
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. This movie's gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun movie. I'm excited for this. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm very excited for this movie. I'm hoping I'm not overhyping this movie because
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
I mean,
to
look,
see it.
I will just say, I hate Shadow the Hedgehog. I think he's a stupid fucking character.
But
Whatever.
Keanu Reeves-
Like, I don't care for him.
Yeah.
But when they cast Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog, I was like, day one. I don't care. Like, I was like, oh,
I
the more I
got
think
you.
about it, Shadow is kind of John Wick in the Hedgehog form, right? So it's like, he's got a gun and he's out for revenge. I mean, name a more iconic duo? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, if you would, I just watched this trailer not too long ago, and to this day, if you had told me that we'd have Idris Elba as Knuckles saying "Pika Pika" in a trailer, I'd be like, "You're crazy, you're absolutely crazy."
That was really funny.
But
I like that. Are you Detective Pikachu?
I am shocked by some of the inserts there, but it like again, it looks like it's gonna embrace its funness to it. Jim Carrey back twice.
No.
Double the
And,
dose of Jim Carrey. And that's
yeah.
a Jim Carrey thing, for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's good with that, and I just like. I'm excited for this movie. Can't say enough.
Little bit of Grinch vibes as he tackles
Yep.
Christmas tree in there too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll probably see this in theaters, actually, so.
Yeah. I think I will.
Oh, my boys are
Yeah.
definitely excited. So
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
be
I mean,
checking it out.
what was it, Sonic 2, where they're like, when's the next one out? And you're like, you're going to have to wait a couple years, bud.
yep.
Yeah. So this looks really good. So
We
if
are.
you haven't checked out the trailer, go check it out.
And
It
how
looks
far
like
we've
it's
come. How far we've come, right? Because I remember that
Yeah.
first reveal, the first trailer where it's Ugly Sonic. We're just like, I think we even have a podcast name, something like that. We'll have to go back. I'll have to go
Absolutely.
back and check.
do.
But
oh, wow, that's right. You
I'm-
forget how much of a 180 they did on that.
imagine if they had never changed. Like, I don't think we'd be here today. I think it would have been a one and done, like, disaster. Like,
Probably.
you know.
Yeah.
Good for Sega for listening to feedback. It's like, you guys should not do this.
Yeah, do not
Not
do
do
this.
this.
Yeah, you know what? We can't do this. And
I'm
they
not
changed it.
convinced the movie will actually be good, but it's gonna be.
It'll be
crazy.
fun. I'm not expecting good. I'm expecting fun.
I'm expecting fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm expecting fun.
Like
Like,
Deadpool and
I'm not-
Wolverine, I
what
think is
kind
a
of
great
depth are we
example
getting
of like
here? You know what I mean?
a
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
movie. It's not a good movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's
You're
not,
getting
doesn't have
what
like
you
good
get.
writing or anything.
Like-
It's fun.
Like, yeah, you're what are you getting for a story? It doesn't matter. Like, you know what you're gonna get here. Let's just enjoy it.
We all know.
That's it. Yeah.
There's gonna be a murder. And somebody's gonna
They're
be
gonna
out for
kill that kid.
100%. We already know it. Like, I'm sorry if we spoiled that for you, but like, Shadow's Origin's fucking 25 years old. So
Okay. What else we've got in the movie news? A couple things. Idris Elba, we just mentioned it before, has been cast in the live-action Masters of the Universe movie coming via Amazon MGM Studios.
Man of Arms.
Man, it
I was,
is Duncan.
I was
He's
gonna
Duncan.
say, Man at Arms has got to be the one.
Man at
man.
Arms. Man at Arms. Duncan. Confirmed. So good for him. Hey, good cast. I like it. That's. I think it's perfect. Spot on.
Anything Idris Elba does, I will watch him in.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, so he embraces the role well, and I'm looking forward. I'm hoping this is a good movie as a He-Man fan. We'll
Is
see.
it though?
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm hoping. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll tell you what is weird. How about a Mighty Mouse movie? Do you guys remember Mighty Mouse?
I remember Mighty Mouse.
I do too.
What is it? Mighty
Vaguely.
Mouse is here to save the day.
Yeah. They're making it's an animated movie coming from Paramount. Actually, Ryan Reynolds' studio, Maximum Effort, is doing the movie, but from Paramount.
Well, we heard
Animation.
Paramount, so it's gonna flop
Yeah.
because they fucking can't market for shit.
No. I mean, they may never see the light of day, So I don't know.
I'd actually prefer if it never saw the light of day, because then I wouldn't be disappointed that it flopped. Because we had back to back, Honor Among Thieves and Transformers 1, and both fantastic movies, and Paramount just fucked it up for both of them.
See, this guy, the guy tapped to write it, did Free Guy.
I wasn't a personal fan of that.
But he also did Scoob, 2020 Scoob.
Didn't
He
see
did a
that.
lot of Christmas movies too. Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2. He did Playing with Fire and Addams Family, the 2019 one. So that was all animated. So he's got a history of it at least. It's just we'll see. So all right, what else we got here? Lastly, I think I got one more. I do. Lastly, James Gunn in the news talking about DCU. We're coming up to the release of Creature Commandos, which is the first DCU movie. It's animated, but it's coming very soon, and it will launch the new DC universe essentially, which is crazy. But we're here, and he was in the news talking. He always talks. We mentioned this. I think last podcast we just talked about how he's always talking.
He is, and he needs to
yeah.
do less of it, way less of it.
He needs to do less sometimes. Less is better. Less is more sometimes. But this time around, he mentioned the fact of the difference of what he and what DC is doing compared to Marvel now is when they greenlight movies, they're going to physically have a read script in hand before they say, yes, let's make this movie. Not say, hey, let's call it, I'm just going to throw a name out there. This is random, Blade. And then say it's in production and not have a script or anything like that together. I think it's the right way to do things. But I understand Marvel's point of, we got to get this in production now because we can get it moving. But you can see this is a lot safer of a play.
Is it?
I think it is. You have an actual script, so you actually have an idea of what it's supposed to be like. I think so.
I mean, it's easy. It's easy for him to say. DCU movies, he's made as many as I have so far.
Yeah, it's true. Creature Commandos, like I said, is animated, and he's doing Superman. So we'll see what these movies are going to be. But
I think you want to have a plan, though.
I don't think
It
you need
sounds
a
like-
Plan
but,
is
like, I don't
people
think you
have
need a
plans.
script. You need to have a plan, not like a semblance of a
Yeah.
plan. You need to have a plan, right?
Not a
Right.
concept. Not a concept of a platform.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's funny. This is a different industry, but it's sort of related. Like Nintendo just gave an interview where because Miyamoto just celebrated his birthday and maybe anniversary at Nintendo or something like that. But anyway, the interview was basically like, yeah, we make sure we have the gameplay first, and then we come up with the story, right? Because it's like nobody's gonna want to play the story if the fucking gameplay's shit, right? And it's like, yeah, for the most part, that's pretty accurate, right? There's some exceptions there, but
It's a matter of like it's a preference
It's
style.
how Nintendo. It's pretty obvious that's how Nintendo works, though.
yeah.
Just looking at how they make games, but
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like writing music. Do you write lyrics first or music first? Depends on your, you know what I mean? Like it's your strength.
Right,
It kind
exactly.
of comes together differently for other people.
But I think just with a movie script, like it's like really like how many pages of movie script where it's like, hey, we just need 2 hours of comic book dialogue, like.
And then like
The
how much
framework is
rewriting gets done.
Right.
So like, okay, we have a script, so let's announce it. Then that script is never used because they just
Yeah, it
rewrite
gets
the whole
trashed.
thing.
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
Like,
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's merit to it. I don't know, but
well, I mean, it wouldn't be greenlit if they didn't like it, Corey. That's the idea. They have a script they like, and then they greenlight it. That's what he's saying.
Green Lantern?
I'm not saying that's gonna be the
Birds of
case.
Prey?
I'm saying, no, right now this is the new style of what he's doing. This is what they're doing now.
okay.
Not what they did
No,
before.
they didn't say about liking a script. They said they need to have a script.
Yes.
There's nothing about liking it.
That's true. It just has to have
Yeah,
a script.
again, it just all comes down to Superman needs to be really good.
Yes, it does.
And if it's great, then I will applaud him because in my heart, I think James Gunn did a great job with Guardians of the Galaxy and those characters, and I would love to see that applied to DC characters. But I don't know, man. The more I hear, the more I'm starting to check out. It's like I don't.
Yep.
Stop
Jordan
talking
Mike.
and let's get a movie out there.
Join Mike on that fence. So
I mean,
we'll see. Mike's not even on the fence. He left. He
Yeah,
left. He left the.
he left the house.
He's gone. He went out for cigarettes and never came back.
Those scratchers.
All right. I think that's it for the movie cast. Yeah, I got nothing left in the news. So that's gonna wrap us up here. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, we're live on Twitch. If you haven't checked it out, we have Gamecast coming up next, so stay tuned for that. YouTube, all of our content's over there. So if you're watching this over there, thank you. Hit that subscribe button so you know when we post. We'll see you guys over on the Gamecast. We are out.